Sonic. Last time we did a video on my hot takes, but now it's time to do a video on your hot takes. I made this post asking you guys to give me your wildest, most insane Sonic hot takes. And you guys certainly delivered. I'd like them to bring back characters and concepts from other canons. See, I'd be down for something like this if they do it right. Like, if you're gonna introduce characters and concepts from other canons, it has to mesh well with the current characters and the current canon. I know Archie did some crazy stuff, and if they implemented some of those into the current canon, I would be genuinely curious to see how it will go. Metal Sonic should permanently break away from Eggman to further his character. This is good. Just imagine if Neo Metal Sonic was just his own villain. Because he had his shot in Sonic Heroes, and he definitely did a really good job. Only problem that I have with him in Heroes, though, is that he spent too much time imitating Eggman. Breaking away from Eggman is definitely a good way to further his character, and I genuinely think that Neo Metal Sonic on his own can be a menacing villain. Talking about what a new Sonic anime be like. This definitely isn't a hot take, but this just gives me an excuse to talk about the Sonic Dream Team animated opening and how I want a Sonic anime in that style. Freezing take, we need more Neo Metal. Hot take, Froggy should be an MC. Alright, we'll do the hot take first. No, I don't really think Froggy should be an MC. Froggy doesn't talk. Also, you're just counting Froggy and leaving out Big. And yes, more Neo Metal would be awesome. I find the 1990s Sonic comics better than the early 2000s and the first year of IDW Sonic. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I ain't read Archie. All my Archie heads, all my comic book fans, is this a hot take, yes or no? Metal Sonic low-key could be the strongest Sonic character. He loses most of his fights because he's always getting jumped. Oh, man. I mean, you're not wrong. With all the abilities already in his kit and his ability to copy lifeform data, yeah, this man could be a menace. And yes, he does get jumped a lot. Bro actually got jumped by 3 teams, then transformed again just to get jumped by Team Supersonic. I like Sonic Forces, and people should stop saying it's bad. My reasoning is because Infinite is awesome, and stages can feel fast and fun if you utilize the gameplay and don't have the highest hopes for the game because not everything has to be great. And I think that if Sonic Forces can just be an average game amongst the fandom, I'll accept that, and the story might be a little bad in some parts, but I still appreciate the attempt at a darker tone, because if they had pushed away that part, we might not have gotten Shadow Generations at all. And Forces started the IDW series, and its tones and customizable stuff is rare in Sonic. So Rookie gave a better role on customizable stuff than the other few times. So in conclusion, Sonic Forces isn't that bad. Okay, number 1, you need to put more punctuation in that, because I did not know where to stop to take breaths. Now let me dissect your hot take a little bit. You say Infinite is awesome, which, you know, is subjective. To each their own, guys. To each their own. I don't personally like Infinite. A lot of people do like Infinite, and a lot of people also don't like Infinite. And this part about the stages feeling fast and fun if you utilize the gameplay, I feel like that isn't necessarily true to a full extent, because the stages are just so short that there's not that much gameplay to utilize to make them feel fun. I appreciate them attempting a darker tone. It's just unfortunate that it just completely fell on its face, because that was a goofy story. It's starting the IDW series. I mean, yeah, I guess I'll give it that. And yeah, the customization is cool. At the end of the day, liking games is just all subjective. Like, if I like a game and you don't like a game, I can explain to you why this game is awesome, and that doesn't matter if you just don't like the game. You're not gonna change your opinion just because I tell you all the good stuff about it that you've already experienced and already formulated your own opinion. But look, if you like Sonic Forces, more power to you. I think Rouge would be better off with Shadow rather than Knuckles. I think we get more chemistry out of Rouge and Shadow. They're good friends while Rouge just wants Knuckles for the Master Emerald. And Rouge clearly cares more about Shadow than Knuckles. And Shadow and Rouge really care about each other. I'm assuming that's what you were trying to say right there. For example, when Rouge got Shadow's ring on the Ark, Shadow catches Rouge in Kingdom Valley, and when Shadow's tear lands on Rouge, she's fine, then smiles, and then sees Shadow as a caring person. I'm not, like, big on shipping, but I do ship Knuckles and Rouge. I just think that's the perfect pairing. Despite being the titular character, Sonic is arguably the most boring character amongst his friends. Amy and Cream deserve more screen time. Emerald is a legitimately interesting character that needs to be brought back. His world is the best theme for Sonic. Never Turn Back would have been a way better theme for Shadow than All Hail Shadow. Alright, we're gonna go from the bottom to the top. All Hail Shadow, it's peak. I'm sorry, it's peak. I can't agree with putting Never Turn Back above that. His World is the best theme for Sonic. I mean, I like the Adventure ones. It doesn't matter. That's my personal favorite theme for Sonic. I feel like it gets all of his character traits across. But I see what you're saying with His World. It definitely is a banger. I personally like the Zebra Head version more than the other versions. But really, any version, I mean, I guess except the Crush 41. But the other two versions, they fit Sonic really well. Emerald is an interesting character, but I definitely feel like he ran his course in Sonic Battle. Like, I think he was fine just being in that one game. Yes, Amy and Cream do deserve more screen time. I feel like Amy's definitely getting more screen time, and I feel like Cream's also going to be on her way there. And Sonic being the most boring character amongst his friends. I feel like in terms of character development, this is right, because Sonic doesn't really go through character development. He doesn't need to develop, he just is. If anything, he encourages the development of all the other characters around him. But if we're just talking about just like in general, just straight up, Sonic is not boring. He is so cool, and his interactions with other characters are just a blast. Adventure over Adventure 2. Okay, me personally, I love both these games so much that I really can't choose. One day I wake up, I'll be an Adventure guy. The next day I wake up, I'll be an Adventure 2 guy. They each have their strengths and their weaknesses, but I wouldn't put one so far above the other. I like Sonic 06, and Sonic CD is the worst from the main 4 classics. Honestly, it's 2025. Is liking 06 even a hot take anymore? A lot of people are coming around on 06. I don't really get the hate for CD. When I played it, I never had any problems navigating the level design and finding the generators. Amongst the main 4 classics, it's my second favorite. But if you guys could tell me why CD is so hated, that would be great, because I love CD, and I've only ever heard people talk about the level design that I really had no problems with. I think SA2 is the most overrated Sonic game. 2/3 of the game, that being treasure and mech stages, are garbage, and the boss fights are extremely easy, and the story is overrated. Woo! Boy, we got ourselves a hot one. This definitely sparked a war in the comments. A lot of people are mixed on the treasure hunting stages and the mech stages. Personally, I really like the treasure hunting stages, and I like, to a lesser extent, the mech stages. The boss fights being extremely easy, I don't know, that last fight with Tails and Eggman, that's a tough fight. The rest of them, yeah, but boss fights weren't really the highlight of Adventure 2. And the story being overrated, I'm sorry, I cannot defend that one at all. The story, it's one of the best stories in the Sonic series, and if you disagree with that, I got nothing for you. Sonic 1 is the best classic Sonic game. Sonic 06 has a good story. Sonic Heroes is a bad game. Sonic 4 is good. Sonic Adventure 2 is mid. His World is the best Sonic song ever. Wow, you emptied an entire revolver. Let's see how many of these hot takes actually hit their mark. Sonic 1 being the best classic Sonic game, I don't know what to say to that. Not saying it's bad, but it's definitely the worst out of the classic Sonic games. 06 having a good story? Yeah, 06's story wasn't bad, but the story itself really isn't what people have a problem with. Sonic Heroes is a bad game. Guys, be for real. Go watch the last Hot Takes video. I said my piece about Heroes. I love Sonic Heroes, and I will not accept this slander. Sonic 4 is good. Do I really need to speak on that one? Adventure 2 is mid. I already talked about Adventure 2 and how it's great. And His World being the best Sonic song ever, it's up there. It's definitely up there. But best ever? Maybe. Again, music is so subjective, to each their own. Personally, it's not my favorite, but if it's your favorite, I respect it. Now we're gonna pull some hot takes from the comment section of the last Hot Takes video. I don't mind Prime Sonic and his personality. However, I absolutely disagree that Prime Sonic and Mainline Sonic are the same person. I 100% agree with this. I don't mind Prime Sonic. He is a little bit more, you know, goofy and soft, but I think that fits his character. His character being an alternate version of Sonic, I should specify. And yes, I disagree that Prime Sonic and Mainline Sonic are definitely not the same person. But like, if you took Mainline Sonic and tweaked his personality a little bit, you get Prime Sonic, and I think that works. I blame toxic fans, fan brats, and haters for ruining Amy Rose. My guy, I don't know why this is a hot take. Amy Rose was never ruined. My girl's been a real one since 1993. Don't play with her. I think my hottest take I have is that Shadow objectively plays better. Of course, it's hot because he's been playable in a grand total of 4 games, half of which were not even good. But let me explain. What does Sonic do exactly? Like, what does he do that Shadow doesn't? I will agree that Sonic is definitely a more charming character than Shadow, but Sonic, as far as I can see, just does what Shadow does, but without half the swag of Shadow or Chaos Control. Sonic, as far as I can remember, only has the Lightspeed Dash exclusive to him as of Shadow Generation. Shadow has his Chaos abilities and his new Doom abilities, which are mostly exclusive to him. Of course, I'm not saying just make Sonic Shadow, that's lame. I'm mainly just wondering if they'll actually give Sonic an ability that isn't just he go fast to make his playstyle not come off as Shadow, but worse. I actually really appreciate this hot take because once Shadow Generations came out and we saw all the things that Shadow can do with Chaos Control, Chaos Spear, and the Doom powers, it really like opened up the discussion of who is the better playable character overall. Because in most games, Sonic and Shadow are basically clones of each other. I shouldn't say most, because in Adventure 2, Sonic had more power-ups than Shadow. In 06, he had all the gem powers, but in 06, Shadow had his own Chaos abilities, and in Shadow also had his own Chaos abilities. I mean, we did have Sonic Frontiers, where he just got a whole slew of combat abilities. The Bounce Bracelet, the best Sonic power-up ever, is exclusive to Sonic, which, by the way, Sonic Team, bring it back. But I do feel like if we compare Shadow and Shadow Generations to all the boost forms of Sonic, Shadow is objectively better. You could just do so much with Shadow with the Chaos abilities and the Doom powers. And unlike, say, the color powers from Sonic Colors, the Doom powers and the Chaos powers, they actually feel like a natural extension of Shadow. Infinite is a good villain, and his aura farming is not half bad. Oh no, here comes the word aura farming. Look, y'all grilled me. Between the video and the short that I uploaded, I got grilled for saying aura farming so many times that I'm even nervous to say that phrase. I really feel like aura was the only thing Infinite really had going for him, and he didn't even succeed at that. Like, yeah, he does beat Sonic twice, even though it's like, you know, he jumped Sonic once. But he never finished Sonic off, and it's only ever implied, never shown, that Infinite is the reason that Eggman took over the world. Like, we see a little bit through the Rookie's flashback, but that's about it. And like, regular people with regular Wispons really aren't doing anything to Infinite. But as a villain, what does he really accomplish? I couldn't even tell you what his motives are. If anything, he was beefing with Shadow more than he was beefing with Sonic. I don't even know why he was beefing with Sonic. Shadow's the one who squad wiped his whole squad and called him weak. But in the main game, I don't think he says 2 words to Shadow. Shadow 5 was an 8 out of 10 for me. Sonic characters should swear more often. The IDW comics has good stories, but terrible character writing for Sonic and Shadow, so I lost interest in it because if the 2 most important characters are written like that, then why should I continue reading? None of the IDW characters should make it into the games. They're just not as interesting as game characters, and a lot of them suck. The modern era overstayed its welcome. I mean, I've had enough with the modern voices for the characters and the models. I'm tired of the boost gameplay. I want something new. Shadow 5 being an 8 out of 10 for you, to each their own, man. Personally, it was not an 8 out of 10 for me. But if it is for you, more power to you. Sonic characters should swear more often. Like, I mean, they could be more loose with their vocabulary, but if they just started swearing out of nowhere, it would just kind of feel forced. Oh, here we go. I just remembered the war on Sonic's character writing, specifically in IDW, has reached the channel. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really participate in discourse, I just see it a lot. Personally, I don't really mind how Sonic is written in IDW. And like Shadow, we all know during the Metal Virus, he was like, eh. And I haven't read enough of him specifically in IDW to really get a gauge of how he's written, if that makes sense. None of the characters make it to the games. I mean, I think Tangle would be fun. Surge and Kid Tsunami, they might make it into a game. No, but in all honesty, I feel like the IDW characters might just stay exclusive to IDW. At least, they'll stay away from the mainline games. They might be in some side games, but I definitely don't see them touching the main timeline. You know, aside from Tangle being mentioned in Frontiers. I will most definitely agree that we need new models. I mean, the voices, man, it's been like 15 years. I wouldn't mind a cast change. And the boost gameplay, look, Shadow Generations really showed that Boost might not have hit its stride yet. But if we got something new, I wouldn't be upset. As long as they don't pull a Lost World and try to put a stupid run button in there. That was the actual dumbest thing they've ever done. Roger Craig Smith is the best voice actor for Sonic, right behind Junichi Kanemaru. Heroes is extremely overrated, a meta-era game before the meta-era. Remakes of the adventure games will never properly be appreciated despite everyone asking for them. The Werehog provides the most immersive combat out of any game to come before or after Unleashed. Ryan Drummond straight up cannot do Sonic's voice anymore, and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is better than Sonic Sat AM. I never watched the cartoon, so I don't really know if Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog is better than Sat AM. I don't really know about the Ryan Drummond one because I haven't heard him do Sonic's voice since Sonic Heroes. Let's do some research, shall we? This is from 2023, this is from Jack Botnick, and we're gonna see how Ryan Drummond sounds in this.
I once again finally have the chaos.
I don't think so, Eggman. This is mine. Bye!
Now, I'm not gonna say that he can't do it. I'm gonna say that he can use more practice. I genuinely agree with the Werehog one. It does have very immersive combat, especially if you go in depth on the combo list and actually look and do all the combos. It's really fun. Yeah, I agree with the remakes of the adventure games. If they do get remade, they probably won't be properly appreciated. I still want them though. Sega, Sonic Team, I still want them. Heroes being overrated, my guy. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if you haven't been on the internet, but most people don't like Heroes. We as in me and all my other Heroes defenders out here, we're the only ones holding down the fort, and there's not that many of us. And Roger Craig Smith being the best VA for Sonic aside from his Japanese actor. I'll give you this, Roger has been voicing Sonic for a very long time, and he started getting really good in Frontiers. I feel like Jason Griffith really captures Sonic's energy. Roger's still really good though. Heroes is just the most polarizing Sonic game ever. Yeah, you got that right. I don't mind the direction Amy Rose is heading, as long as they just give a bit more of a kick to it to really see what else they can add. Because truth be told, the obsession thing is a bit creepy and not really cool due to my experience. Honestly, I don't think this is a hot take. I got grilled last video for saying that I didn't really like Amy's new direction, but a lot of people are on board with you for this hot take. Knuckles is Sonic's best rival, better than Shadow, Metal Sonic, Silver, and that green beak turd. Watch how you talk about Jet the Hawk. Knuckles has speed and strength. Are we gonna tell him that, everybody else, except I guess maybe Jet, also have speed and strength? My biggest hot take is probably that I think Sonic Adventure 1 is a bit better than SA2. I like this one better than the last one comparing the two games, mainly because this one said only a bit better. I like Sonic Superstars. That's right, I said it. Hey, look, speak your truth. Go on ahead. Sonic Colors has a better written story than all the 2000 Sonic games, except for Unleash and the Rush game. Whoa, no. Sonic Heroes is the best because of Metal Sonic. Speak your truth! SA1 is better than SA2. That's the third one we've gotten today. Sally can come back if they do her character right. Unleashed is mid, and the best Sonic art style is IDW and the Adventure era. I can agree with the art style one, just throw Battle in there too. Unleashed being mid, like, come on, man. It's 2025. Are we still have Unleashed retractors out there? If you have a powerful enough PC, play Unleashed recompiled, please. I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion on Sally. If she comes back and they do her character right, then she comes back and they do her character right. I don't like Sonic Adventure 2, and this is why. I kind of like the speed stages, but I definitely prefer SA1 level design and controls. But my biggest issue with the game is the horrible pacing due to the treasure hunting and mech stages, which I actually really enjoyed in Sonic Adventure 1. Treasure hunting stages have controls that are way worse than SA1, and the Master Emerald Shard Detector can only detect one at a time, which makes it slower to collect the shards. The movement and shooting is way slower than the Gamma stages in Adventure 1, and the levels drag out, and frankly, make me want to stop playing because of how boring they are. So we're tackling all three forms of gameplay here. For the speed stages, I feel like I like the control better in Adventure 1, but as for the level design, I kind of like them both equally. But I'll give the slight edge to Adventure 2 just to not have a tie. I cannot agree with the fact that the controls are worse in Adventure 2 than Adventure 1 for the treasure hunting stages. They're basically the same, but Adventure 2 just has more move variety. Yeah, we all know the Emerald Radar got nerfed. It really does feel like it was just made to artificially extend the levels, so I'll give Adventure 1 that over Adventure 2. But it's not like horrible. It doesn't ruin the whole game. I do prefer Gamma's controls to Tails and Eggman's controls. And with your point about the levels dragging out, I personally don't agree, but I can see why you would say that. Some of them do get pretty long, and they do kind of feel like they overstay their welcome. Silver is the most boring, overrated character in the series, and that's coming from someone who 100%ed 06 earlier this year. Blaze is also nothing special. Shadow should have stayed dead after SA2. I love the character, but the only game besides SA2 he was good in was Heroes, and 06, which he's barely in Heroes dialogue-wise, and 06 never happened. Sonic 1 is the most underrated game in the entire series. It's not aged bad at all. Ian Flynn isn't a bad writer per se, but I can't lie, like a lot of what he writes to me is laughable or boring. When they mentioned the time stones out of nowhere in the Generations remake, I laughed out loud. Not in a mean way, I just thought it wasn't needed at all. Frontiers isn't good as a whole. I did like the first playthrough, but when I tried to replay it again, I realized I couldn't bring myself to play more than 5 hours of it. I don't agree with the Frontiers one, but I can understand it. I can understand why, after playing it once, you get your fulfilled experience from that, and replaying it, it just doesn't hit the same. More Ian Flynn, man, I don't want to continue talking about why Ian Flynn isn't bad. I like him. I thought the time stone thing wasn't bad. A lot of people are like, oh, it's so jarring. Oh, it came out of nowhere. I didn't mind it. I don't know what you want me to say. I didn't mind it. Just because Sonic 1 hasn't aged bad, I don't think that means it's underrated. I think a lot of people properly rate Sonic 1 for what it is and how it started the series. You said Shadow is only good in Heroes and 06. Might I present to you Shadow Generations? And you're saying Silver is boring and overrated? Alright, now, that's it. It's up. We're doing this right now. My biggest hot take is that Sonic Adventure is mid. You, my friend, are wrong. I hate Orbot and Cubot. You, my friend, are not alone. Sonic X is trash. I would really have to rewatch it to really formulate a proper opinion on the show. Sonic OVA had some of the best VAs for classic Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Also, Silver should have been in the Sonic Movie 3's post-credit scene instead of Amy. Look, as much as I love Silver, I feel like Amy earned her spot there. She's been here way longer than him. And it really depends, like, what the movie's even gonna be about. Since we got Amy and Metal Sonic, I feel like we're getting some CD tie-ins. And absolutely, I adore the Sonic OVA, and the voice actors, they're so good. Like, they're spot on. You would not think that they would work so well if you just heard, like, one clip out of context. But once you watch the whole thing, you're just like, yeah, this works. Woo! We went through a lot of hot takes here. Since I had so many for this video, I'm assuming you guys like hot takes, and maybe we could do a hot takes 3, so put your hot takes down in the comments below. But if you enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to get notified whenever I upload. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and I'm not even gonna lie, guys. By the time this video is up, we might have already hit it. We're so close, but let's hit that ASAP! Post your hot takes in the comments below, and also post if you agreed or disagree with my takes on these hot takes. Thank you all, I love you all, and I'm out. So yeah, that's all. Bye, guys.